How's it going, tiny little hot dog cuties? Today is a very, very special video on what's behind me right now. Guys, see this? That's right, guys. I just built my very first PC today, and I'm here to talk about the specs, why I built it, and just for funsies, why I think everyone else should build a PC. And of course, this is going to be a really super quickie video because of the fact that I just spent my entire day building this thing with my brother, and I'm not going to lie, it's caused quite a bit of hair pulling in the last 6 hours. Okay guys, first off, I want to talk about why I decided to build a PC, and the main reason is because my old computer was dying. I do have a school computer, but it's only used for school purposes. I don't use it for video editing. I don't use it for anything else other than that, because of the fact that I don't want to mess around my personal stuff with my school stuff, because apparently my school likes to look into the laptops and things like that. I just don't want that connection between the two. So I had the option of 1, buying a completely new laptop, 2, buying a pre-built PC, or 3, building my own PC. And turns out guys, that in this economy right now, as of right now, because it changes, because of mining, because of people who are crazy about Bitcoin and all those currency exchanges that happen through online networks, Litecoin, a bunch of those other things. Because of that, graphics cards and RAM prices tend to go sky high. But right now is a really good time to build your own PC and get a bang for your buck. And I'm gonna tell you guys the specs of this PC. It's pretty fire. It's not the best. I did have a limited budget because I am a student, but I was able to make a PC worth way more than it is. If I were to buy this pre-built, it would probably cost $300 or $400 more than it is. And my primary goal to build this PC was to actually make a very good editing PC. If you guys haven't seen, I recently upgraded my camera, my video camera, to a 4K 1080p Panasonic G7, and it's just made the video quality of my video so much better. But at the same time, I'm not getting the best quality out that my camera can do, that my computer software can do, because I did not have the latest specs in my computer. But now I have a dedicated graphics card in my computer. Now I have an awesome ultra wide. You guys see this? Ultra wide LG display. It's not truly color accurate, but it's good enough. It's definitely better than my old washed out TN panel that I had in my old laptop that was 7 years old. And it's just gonna make workflow for me so much better, so I can dish out even better videos to you guys more quickly, more efficiently, and I can dedicate myself to making videos while at the same time having time to dedicate myself to my studies. So altogether, the budget for this computer was to be under $1,000. That was my goal, and to get a bang for your buck, where if I were to buy this pre-built, it would have to be more than $1,100. Well, let's break down what's actually inside this baby. So I'm actually using the white and black NZXT H500 case, not the H500i, which has RGB. I don't really care about RGB. I'm not a gamer. And also, RGB, not gonna lie, can kind of get really tacky if every single component of your PC has RGB. This actually does have a small RGB component, and that is the motherboard. The motherboard that I'm using is the Asus B450 Tomahawk. It's a great motherboard with great heat sinks. It's an ATX motherboard, If you guys don't know what ATX motherboards are, it basically means that it's the standard size motherboards that most gaming computers have. You can put two graphics cards in there. But to be honest, guys, I'm probably just gonna keep one because I'm not a heavy gamer, and video editing software doesn't usually use two dedicated graphics cards to dish out all the videos that I want to make for you, unless I want to be like a full-blown video producer or something like that, which is never gonna happen. Maybe not, definitely not in my 4 years in medical school. So the motherboard is great. It has a really nice illuminating RGB light in the back. I keep it as kind of like a frost color because it kind of goes with my case and my keyboard and the screensaver of my ultrawide LCD TV. The keyboard that I'm using is the Red Dragon mechanical does that mean like you're eating mechanics? I don't know. Is the Red Dragon no backlit, because I don't really care for backlit. Mechanical keyboard is 10 keyless, so it doesn't have the number pad. But to be honest, guys, I barely ever use the number pad on my keyboard, so I didn't see the point of having a number pad for a more expensive keyboard. So I went with the 10 keyless design. It's clicky, it's beautiful, it's awesome. I just wrote 2 essays tonight that were due in the next month for my classes. Yes, I am not a procrastinator, and it was such a joy to use those mechanical keys. Those are, I believe they are Omento blue switches, which are supposed to imitate the Cherry MX blue switches. As far as the processor, I'm using a Ryzen 5 2600. It's the best bang for your buck processor out there. Before that, I want to say the NZXT case was $69, so $70. The processor, the Ryzen 5 2600, was $160 that I got from Micro Center. The keyboard that I got, the mechanical keyboard, was $30, $28, but let's round it up to $30. I'm using a bronze EVGA power supply, 650 watts. It's either 600 or 750 watts, I'm not sure. I kind of just forgot, but it was $70 on Amazon. I will have an image up here so you guys actually know what I ended up buying. I'm just too lazy to check it right now. As far as the RAM, I have this baby booted up with 16 gigabytes of 2666 megahertz RAM, Patriot Viper. It's a lesser known RAM, but that's why it's also cheaper. I got it for a great deal. Most RAMs right now at 16 gigabytes are selling for $130 to $140. I got this Patriot Viper at only $103 at the speed that it's in. So it's a really good speed for a really good price for a really good capacity of RAM. For my hard drive, because it's my first build, I didn't want to have to mess with too many cables because I'm kind of I'm not that great with cables or cable management. So I went with an M.2 hard drive SSD. It's 1 terabyte. And it's going to have enough space for me to do everything that I would want to do. If I am really pushing for more storage later down in the coming months or the coming year, I'll probably add a HDD hard drive that's probably another terabyte or so to hold whatever footage or games that I decide to rig this baby up with. The graphics card, I'm using an MSI Radeon 570. Yes, it's an older model, but it's the 8GB model. It performs really good, and it's great for video editing. Again, I am not a super big PC gamer. I mainly game on consoles. I do game on PC, but I don't care for the latest and greatest frame rates or graphics. That's why I'm totally fine with saving a couple of bucks, buying the older model, and it gets the job done. So as far as cost, the graphics card, the Radeon 570 from MSI, ended up costing me $170, and the 1 terabyte M.2 SSD from Western Digital Blue line was $130. Lastly, I want to talk about the motherboard. I got this motherboard for steel. I'm using the MSI B450 Tomahawk. I got this for $80, guys. $80 at Micro Center. Micro Center has the best deals for CPUs and motherboards, and I got a sweet deal on that motherboard. It's a great motherboard. It supports 2 graphics cards. It does everything. $80. What a steal. Lastly, let's talk about my ultra wide. This is the LG 600. I believe it's the 29-inch 600WK version of their ultra wide line. I got this at Best Buy for only $180. Now, I did not factor in this to the price of my total PC, so it does go over a little bit from the $1,000 that I set for my budget, but the budget was just for the PC. The monitor was another really good steal, and I decided to get that. But overall, this is the price that I paid for this PC, and it is an amazing PC. I have tried to look for computers with the exact same specs here, and none of them have been under $1,000. Most of them have been over $1,000 to $1,200, and they usually skimp out some quality parts. Usually they're using a super cheap case. I found one that has like almost the exact same specs, but it was using a super cheap case, or they're using cheaper parts such as the power supply. I went with a bronze power supply. I know that's not the best power supply you can have, but I do have a fully modular EVGA bronze power supply, which I kind of think as pretty decent. It's not terrible, it's not garbage, but it's not the best of the best either. So those are the components that I used for making my PC. If you guys are thinking about making a PC for video editing and you want to kind of have like a guideline on what kind of parts you should get, that's basically my build. As far as my building experience, guys, building is not really hard. I had my brother help me out. It's not hard at all. The thing is that I had such a hard time, since it was my first build ever, putting in the case fans. Literally, you think that maybe installing the motherboard, installing the RAM, the CPU, or even the I/O shield will be the hardest parts. Maybe even the graphics cards and cable management. Cable management is something that a lot of PC building YouTubers talk about as being one of the hardest things to do. None of that was hard for us. It was really easy. The hardest and most frustrating thing was the cooler. The Ryzen cooler that it came with. It was not, for some reason, it was just not cooperating. We spent a good 40 minutes trying to get that cooler to install correctly. And, excuse me, the cooler has been one of the most frustrating parts of the entire build. Of course, and also MSI, I love you guys, but you guys said you would include an M.2 screw in your motherboard, and you guys didn't include one, so I had to drive my butt all the way over to Ace Hardware. Ace Hardware didn't have the screw that I was looking for. Then my brother and I looked online and found out that some old laptops usually have the screw that I'm looking for. It's called the M2 2x3mm. I believe that's the kind of screw that I'm looking for to install the M.2 SSD into the standoff that comes with the B450 Tomahawk. And we ended up finding it, but I basically drove around for a solid 1.5 hours throughout town trying to find the screw that fits that motherboard. And it's kind of crazy. Like, why would you do that, MSI? Why would you do me dirty like that? I love your company. Your parts are great. You guys helped me make such an awesome PC. But that was just incredibly frustrating. Like, it's crazy, guys. Like, I shouldn't have had to do that. Like, I spent 4 hours, guys, making this PC, and literally 2 hours could have been used for, you know, not building that PC. I could have been done with that PC in 2 hours, but it took that long because of that screw and those stupid stock coolers and case fans. But there it is, guys. This is my PC. I think you guys will love it. I think you guys will like it. Definitely love the look of the white on my black desk that I bought a couple of months ago when I moved into my new apartment. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys will ever think about building a PC. Let me know if you guys want to build a PC and you need some tips. I'll be very, very, very welcome to sending you guys links in the description below of really good PC YouTubers, PC building YouTubers out there, because those are the guys that actually helped me build this awesome PC without much of a hassle. Shout out to TechSource, Bitwit, and Max Yuriev. Those 3 channels have been one of the most helpful channels out there, and also an honorable mention to Linus Tech Tips, who really helped me pick out the best parts possible for my PC build. I love you guys. If you guys check out those channels, let them know that I sent you there, because I think they'd really appreciate that a smaller YouTuber is basically commending them for their awesome job at making PC building so much easier. And I'll see you guys next week on a much more together video, maybe something to do with med school, because I haven't really talked about med school in a while. But until then, this is Ben, and I'll see you on the next one.